everyone, what is going on? So we have another shoutcast for you today, this time featuring Heatran. So it's going to be very exciting to see how Heatran performs. I don't see it much nowadays, but I have a couple seasons ago, right? But I think we have better options, although I guess the meta is relatively the same, but there's a few different things that you might prefer using. Zekrom, Palkia, right? Not super common, but we also have Groudon, which is probably the big answer to Heatran, which is really common, as well as Kyogre, which has been there since the beginning, but it also has Surf now. But anyway, this Dialga is going to go ahead and go for Draco Meteor. Yeah, going to be Draco Meteor. That Melmetal going to shield. Melmetal could have been able to take that, but not wanting to take that health. Totally understandable. So Dialga is it going to shield? No, not going to shield. Superpower almost knocking out the Dialga. Can this Melmetal Thundershock down? No, this Iron Head is coming out, but the Iron Head is not enough to feint the Melmetal. Melmetal might commit to a farm down. Okay, not doing much. And looks like Melmetal is going to commit to a farm down, Thundershocking down that Dialga. Such a weak move, and Dialga is resisting it, but this Melmetal is loaded. Might attempt switching. Oh no, going to go straight for the charge attack. I thought maybe it might switch because it's debuffed, but it's going to go ahead and go for the Rock Slide. Doing a good amount of damage, I guess, to Giratina, especially since it gets another Rock Slide off immediately. That's how much energy it charged up. So yeah, I mean, even though it's debuffed, still got about 50% to that Giratina. Getting off another Rock Slide. This Giratina is definitely farming down. So Rock Slide is going to hit the Giratina. Look how low that Giratina is going to get, but Giratina will be successfully able to farm down. Still has a shield advantage. In comes Dragonite, a Pokemon that you see occasionally in the regular Master League, but not as common as the Premier Cup, of course. So going to not really do that much, but getting the boost. Wow, getting the boost. That is huge. This might actually get the shield at this point. This Dragonite not wanting to take this hit. Yep, going to get a shield. No double boost, unfortunately, for that Giratina, but doing about 50% to the Dragonite in total. In comes that Heatran, out comes Groudon. So this is what I'm talking about. Groudon is more common because it gets Fire Punch, and you have to watch out for the Earthquake. Heatran going to go ahead and immediately shield that. Going to be a Fire Punch. Would have been neutral to the Heatran. Heatran could have taken it, but not wanting to take it. Will the shield come out? Probably another Fire Punch. Shield does come out from Heatran. This Groudon might want to go for an Earthquake now, but this Charge Attack is coming out from the Heatran. So does Groudon have a shield? I'm not really too sure. Not going to shield. Oh, there was no shield on the opponent's end. Looks like this Groudon might have wanted to get to the Earthquake, but not able to do so. In comes Dragonite. Dragonite is going to go for the Charge Attack. This is going to be resisted. It's going to be Dragon Claw, as I said, resisted. And this Heatran is going to be able to get to the Stone Edge and knock out Dragonite. Fantastic play with this Heatran. Wow, insane. I thought Heatran would have a lot less play. Well, it does have less play, but even more so now, especially since Groudon is huge. Not that it was super common before, but you definitely saw it occasionally. Okay, so this is not a good matchup. Double weak to ground, has to get out, and in comes Dialga, and it looks like this Groudon is staying in because Dialga is also weak to Groudon if it goes for Earthquake. So Dialga gonna correctly shield that Earthquake. It's kind of like a 50-50 if you bait with the Groudon or not, or if the Dialga is gonna shield. I mean, sometimes I get them with the Earthquake, sometimes I don't. So it all depends. Groudon is going to shield that one up, probably going for another Earthquake. So this Earthquake will be enough to knock out the Dialga. Will it shield? It is going to shield. Okay, going to be another Earthquake, so correctly shielding that with the Dialga. Like, Dialga isn't hard-walled by Groudon because look how much damage it's doing. In fact, if there's no shield coming out from this Groudon, it's going to knock out Groudon and win switch. And there is no shield, so Groudon goes down. So as you can see, Dialga is so powerful, guys. I mean, he could beat things that are supposed to counter it, right? In comes Mewtwo. So this Mewtwo just needs a Psy Strike, I believe, to knock out. I don't think it needs Focus Blast, but an Iron Head coming out from this Dialga, so unfortunately wasn't able to get to it. Okay, Mewtwo shielding up. Is Mewtwo going for the Focus Blast? No, it just needs a Psy Strike. Probably charging up enough for 2. Good play. So this Psy Strike is probably going to knock out. Yep, going to be a Psy Strike. Definitely knocking out that Dialga. What's going to come in? Heatran is going to be one shot by that Focus Blast. Is it going to be Giratina? Yep, it's going to be Giratina. So a Psy Strike coming out. Can the Mewtwo get to a second Psy Strike? It depends how much energy it charged up. So this Psy Strike is going to do a lot. Just needs one more after these Psycho Cuts, I believe. Oh, is this going to knock it out? It's going to be very low. It might knock it out. Psy Strike is going to not knock it out. Giratina feints it down. In comes Dragonite. Out comes Heatran. Heatran with that Stone Edge. Wow, Heatran with that Stone Edge, it looks like Heatran is actually going to take this game because it's going to be resisting Hurricane, Draco Meteor, Outrage, Dragon Claw. Doesn't matter what it has, Dragon Claw able to resist that. Dragonite is pretty good, but the Stone Edge is also powerful and super effective to the Dragonite, so this is going to take that game. Very powerful. Oh, that actually doesn't even knock it out, but going to be able to farm down that Dragonite because Heatran is resisting every single attack coming in. So that was a fantastic play, man. That was really fun. By the way, this trainer wanted me to let you know that he did get into the 2900s with Heatran in Season 1 and Season 2. He didn't say whether or not he made rank 10, but I'm guessing not since he said he got into the 2900s. But still, with Heatran 2900s, that's really powerful. So in comes Kyogre. You got to bail. Oh, maybe going for the Stone Edge first and then switching. This Stone Edge will do a lot of damage. It is neutral to Kyogre. Doing a lot of damage to that Kyogre, softening it up quite a bit. In comes Dialga. Dialga can eat up the Surf. So it's definitely going to be Surf. Yep, Surf, not enough for the Blizzard. So Dialga able to take that. And yeah, if you're the Dialga, you just have to farm down at this point. And looks like maybe that Kyogre was aiming for the Blizzard but wasn't able to get there. What is going to come out from the opponent? It is going to be an opposing Dialga. Okay. Sounds good. So Iron Head going for the bait. Will the Dialga shield? Probably. I mean, it could be a Draco Meteor. Yep, gonna shield on the opponent's end, and this opponent might want to look down the farm, but another Iron Head coming out. Yeah, this Iron Head not gonna do too much. I mean, it is resisted, so it's probably not gonna be shielded. No, not gonna be shielded, and the opposing Dialga is able to knock it out. What are you gonna bring in? Heatran? I mean, Giratina is going to be weak to Dragon Breath. Going to bring in that Heatran. This Heatran is doing a decent amount of damage. Fire attack is neutral towards Dialga, so Heatran is going to go ahead and shield this one up. Going to be a Draco Meteor. Nice shield. Getting ready to switch. Out comes Melmetal, switching into Giratina. Beautiful swap. Super fast, and this Melmetal can't really do much. Right, I mean, it's going to go for Rock Slide, I guess, which adds up. So, okay, Rock Slide coming through. Pretty good play. But this Giratina is able to take those Rock Slides and able to get to these Ghost attacks really fast. Superpower, as well as Ominous Wind. So, going for the Ominous Wind, actually getting the shield. That's right, the Melmetal had a shield, but that's totally fine. Able to pick it up with the Ominous Wind. So, nice bait. Rock Slide coming out. I guess it's adding up, but I think all this Giratina needs is a Shadow Ball to knock out the Melmetal. Another Rock Slide coming out. So, okay, Melmetal definitely put up a fight, getting the Giratina really low, but Giratina should definitely still win this matchup. Even if it doesn't, he still has the Heatran, which actually is a good point. I mean, I guess maybe he could have stayed in with Heatran, but I guess not because, I mean, Superpower, Heatran is weak to Superpower, so probably didn't want to stay in. Plus, you needed the Heatran for the Dialga. You didn't want Giratina against the Dialga because Dragon Breath is super effective. So really playing that correctly and really playing that well. I really enjoyed that game. I think I shoutcasted for this trainer before, if I remember correctly. But okay, next up we have Heatran versus Kyogre. Definitely a bad matchup. Going to switch out into Dialga. Okay, that Kyogre is switching into Togekiss. Okay, so generally speaking, Togekiss does win this, but Dialga is going to be able to take both shields. He'll have to give up a shield in return. That's usually how it happens, but, you know, with the switch in, and depending how slow the switch was, not sure if that same rule applies. It looks like it does, so going to go ahead and have to shield this from the Togekiss, and it's going to be an Ancient Power. That's totally fine, and an Iron Head coming out. Now, if this Togekiss wants to win switch, it will have to shield, and it probably will, generally speaking. Not going to shield, going to give up switch. Wow. Okay, I would have shielded if I was the Togekiss, but he would have been down 2 shields, the opponent. Okay, so in comes Dialga, so definitely have to bring in that Heatran. You could not have Heatran against Kyogre. Obviously, Giratina against Kyogre is much better. So this Heatran is going to, Heatran's going to switch out to attack that Kyogre. And this, you do have to watch out for the Blizzard, right? Because the Blizzard would one-shot this Giratina Origin form. But outside of that, it is resisting all of the moves. So doing a decent amount. This Kyogre probably going straight Blizzard, honestly, because he can't get to a Surf and a Blizzard. So I would shield. Gonna go ahead and shield. Just going to be a Surf. Okay. It's also possible this Kyogre has Thunder. So another charge attack coming through, but it's not going to be enough for a Blizzard. It's just going to be a Surf. So Giratina able to get that. But at least if you're the opponent, you got a little bit of damage off. So I guess it was better just going straight Blizzard. But that's okay because this Giratina is in a great position. Going to go ahead and go for the Ominous Wind right now. Picking up a shield from that Dialga. So nice shield bait. Switching into Heatran. Ooh, into the charge attack, but this is probably just Iron Head, and Heatran is going to resist this. No, it's going to be Draco Meteor. Heatran still resists it, but it does a lot of damage. But nice catch switching out that Giratina into the Heatran, because there's no way Giratina could have taken that. Doing neutral damage, and just able to farm down Dialga. So yeah, if you're looking for a counter to Heatran, or not Heatran, to Dialga, Heatran might be it, right? So, okay, another terrible matchup. This Heatran is going to have to bail. What's it going to go into? Going to go into Dialga, the safe switch. And going to switch into Zekrom. Okay, ooh. Wow, interesting switch from the opponent. That's actually a very interesting switch coming in from the opponent. But this Dialga is going to go ahead and shield and probably be able to farm down. Crunch coming out, but Dialga doesn't want to take it. And the thing is, Dialga is doing super effective damage with Dragon Breath, whereas Zekrom is doing neutral damage to Dialga because it's a steel type, which resists the dragon attack. But, you know, the dragon obviously is weak to dragon, so doing neutral damage to the Dialga. So Dialga generally better, but it's very interesting to see Zekrom. Honestly, I want to use one myself because I do think it's a good Pokemon. It's just I don't think that was the greatest switch to counter Dialga, because Dialga will win that one because it's doing super effective damage. But I do like Zekrom though. I do want to try it out. So what is coming in? Oh, it has to be the Heatran. What am I saying? Of course it's Heatran. So Heatran coming in. Dialga is such a good safe switch too, isn't it? Even if they bring in a counter like Groudon or Melmetal, you could still do a lot of damage. In comes Kyogre. Okay, so this Kyogre gonna go ahead and get off the Surf. No shield to protect the Heatran, so it looks like Heatran cannot save itself. This time, going to be able to knock it out. In comes Giratina. Giratina will be able to, not if the Blizzard comes out. Going for Shadow Ball, I don't think this is enough to knock out the Kyogre. Kyogre might be able to get the Blizzard, again, if it has Blizzard. So that does not knock it out. Charge attack coming through. This probably, if he was able to get to the Blizzard, this will be Blizzard. If he has it, nope. Surf, I guess he didn't think he could get to it. Totally fine. Giratina is going to farm down the Kyogre. And in comes that Dialga. This is crazy. Going for the Shadow Ball. This is not going to be enough, I don't think, right? To knock out the Dialga. But it's going to get it low. But, I can't. There's no way. Oh, it's going to be able to farm down? Yeah, he's going to be able to farm down a Dialga. That is absolutely crazy. I did not think he would be able to farm that down. Well played, well played. I am enjoying these games so much. I love watching the Master League. I have nothing against the Premier Cup. Honestly, I love these legendary Pokemon. Anyway, doing super effective damage with Fire Spin, right? As well as Flamethrower. This is definitely going to be shielded. But Melmetal is going to be doing a lot with Superpower as well. In fact, 2 Superpowers will be enough to knock out this Melmetal. Rock Slide going to be neutral. I wonder if 2 Rock Slides is enough. Honestly, I don't even know. Going for the Rock Slide, so nice call on the opponent's end. And just charging up more energy, going for another charge attack. Could go for the 2 Superpowers. Could go for a Rock Slide. Again, I don't know if 2 Rock Slide is enough. Going to be the Superpower that will debuff. Going for another charge attack. This is probably going to be another Superpower, but it was debuffed, so it's not going to knock it out. Doing a lot of damage. Switching out into Groudon. So Groudon going to be hit with the Stone Edge. Ooh, Stone Edge. Flamethrower would have been the way to go, but that's okay. Maybe just click that immediately. Still picking up a shield, so it doesn't matter. In comes Giratina. Okay, so Giratina can take an Earthquake, so it doesn't have to worry about it. I mean, I guess it worries about it. It does a lot of damage, but it could still take it. So Earthquake. And Fire Punch at that range is not enough to knock out. So going straight Shadow Ball. Giratina is so good in this current meta because Mewtwo is also really common, right? So, okay, it looks like a charge attack coming through. I don't know if this is going to be an Earthquake. I don't know if he had enough time to get to it. Going to be a Fire Punch. Okay, I guess he did 2 Fire Punches? Giratina able to farm down before another Fire Punch comes out. Going for the Shadow Ball. This Giratina is going to be able to get to this Shadow Ball. Wow, these are some fantastic players, man. Snorlax. I didn't see it was a Snorlax. That's not good. So Snorlax is another good answer in the regular Master to Giratina, to both of them, but especially to the Origin form, because generally speaking, it does not carry Dragon Pulse. It just carries 2 Ghost attacks, and Snorlax is going to heavily resist those Ghost attacks, so it can't really touch it. You can just lick down of your Snorlax. So I do like Snorlax for that. But going for Superpower, okay, that is going to do a lot of damage to Dialga. Switching into Heatran, out comes Melmetal. Melmetal is going to be hit with a charge attack. Probably going to be a Rock Slide. That will be enough to knock out the Heatran. Doesn't want to debuff itself. No, going to be Superpower. Okay, that's totally fine. Dialga does farm down the Melmetal. And in comes Snorlax. Snorlax is going to be hit with this Draco Meteor. This Draco Meteor is going to be enough to knock out this Snorlax, that was fantastic. That was a great play. That was a great play. Luckily, he was, for the most part, able to keep that Giratina away from Snorlax. But I have been seeing more and more Snorlax in the open Master just because of how common Giratina is. So we have Heatran versus Dialga. Okay, very interesting match. Again, Heatran is resisting these attacks. Dialga switching out into Giratina Origin. Out comes Dialga. Definitely a great situation for this Dialga. Dialga, great. I mean, everybody has Dialga on their team. So it's going to go ahead and shield the Shadow Ball. So nice shield coming in from the Dialga. Could have taken it, but would have done a lot of damage. Going to go for the Iron Head. This should be enough, I think, to knock out. We'll have to see. Will the Giratina shield? The Giratina actually does shield, wanting to get to another Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is not going to be enough to knock out Dialga. Will the Dialga use the final shield on the attack? No, it will not. As you can see, still able to take it. Dialga is going to be able to farm down. Even though Giratina is weak to Dragon Breath, that's still a close game, right? Still a really close match. So in comes Dialga. Dialga is going to be able to knock out Dialga. So you really have to bring in the Heatran at this point. Heatran's a good option anyway. So Heatran gonna go ahead and come right in. Man, I feel like I would be so nervous to use Heatran just because, like, I have a perfect one that's almost maxed out. I don't have a second move on it, but just because like the fighting types, it's such a good Pokemon though. Like, and the ground types like Groudon, but in comes Giratina. But I guess this team works really well together. So Groudon, going to go ahead and go for the charge attack. Most likely an Earthquake, unless if it's a bait, probably not. Going to be that Earthquake, doing a good amount of damage to the Giratina. Giratina going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball right now. The Shadow Ball, as we know, does a lot of damage. So basically all that Giratina needs again now is going to be an Ominous Wind. I probably can't farm down because this charge attack coming through, probably just a 5-punch at this point in time, but Giratina can take it, going to be able to take it. It really heavily double resist fire attacks actually, going for the Ominous Wind. Will we see a boost coming out from that Giratina? Probably not because it's only 10%. Nope. In comes Dialga. Dialga will farm down, totally fine. In comes Heatran. Heatran going to be hit with a charge attack, still has a shield, going to go ahead and shield this one up. Going to be an Iron Head, but that's okay. That's okay, and going to be able to get to this Flamethrower. This Flamethrower is going to do a lot of damage to the Dialga. Keep in mind, it's neutral. It's neutral. Oh, that's actually just enough to just outright knock it out, man. I have to try out Heatran, man. You're making me want to try out Heatran. So, Heatran versus Mewtwo. Okay, let's see how this plays out, because Heatran does resist Psy Strike, but obviously it's going to be one-shot by that Focus Blast. So, safe switching into Dialga. Again, Dialga is one-shot by Focus Blast, so if this is enough, you're going to have to shield. I don't know, I haven't been counting. Going to shield, going to be a Psy Strike, so unfortunately, shielding the bait. In comes the Rhyperior. Ooh. Okay, so Mud Slap is going to be super effective to Dialga, but this Iron Head is also super effective, so Rhyperior will shield it up. And look how much damage it's doing, but at the same time, Dragon Breath is still doing a lot of damage. It's still able to get to another Iron Head. So, yeah, I mean, this Dialga definitely put in work, no doubt about it. Dialga, that's why Dialga is so good. Even against things that counter it, it still either takes shields or it can just outright knock it out. That would have knocked out the Rhyperior if it didn't double shield. That's crazy. That's how strong Dialga is, right? It's even going against Togekiss. And and Iron Head is super effective. I mean, Dragon Breath is resisted. Iron Head is super effective. Dialga is like the best Pokemon in the Master League. I cannot wait to get my best buddy to use it. Believe me. Then I'll be playing a lot more in the Master League. I've been playing a lot already. Anyway, Rock Wrecker doing a lot of damage. In comes Dialga. So out comes Heatran. So this Heatran, again, resisting all these attacks. Dragon Breath still doing a decent amount. Flamethrower coming out. Flamethrower, as we've seen in the past, does a lot of damage. We saw it in this video. Does a tremendous amount. Fire Spin is also adding up as well. Charge attack coming through. No matter what it is, it's not going to knock out this Heatran. Going to be a Draco Meteor that is resisted by Heatran. The attack fell on the Dialga, but even though the attack fell, it almost knocked out Heatran. Not quite. And out comes Rhyperior. Rhyperior does knock out the Heatran. And out comes Giratina. Giratina is going to go ahead and farm down and go for the Shadow Ball and win. That is crazy. It's going to be that Mewtwo, and that's going to get knocked out. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.